Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hi. Thank you so much for joining again. And at this point, I know that you are more than serious about your overage business because you're back. Today, we have a super awesome topic to discuss, which is leads and lead generation. We're going to talk about how to generate listings, what listings are, how we can request a list if it's not readily available on a county's website, and so many other things. Leads are the meat and potatoes of your business. I mean, it is the most important part of it. If you don't have leads, you don't have clients. So we are really going to focus on how to hone in on the best leads. So I'm going to need you to go ahead and get your coffee or your glass of wine or your Sprite, whatever you're drinking, and come sit with me for about an hour and let's dive super deep into it. Good afternoon, guys. What you currently see in front of you is a list. This is Fulton County, Georgia's excess funds Excel file. Now, their particular list for this county is not readily available just on the website. I had to physically request this list from Fulton County. I, of course, am going to show you how to request a list, but I wanted to dive in a little bit deeper on what the list looks like and what you're looking at on this particular list. If you're looking here, you will see a sheriff sale number, a parcel ID, a sale date, surplus collected, surplus paid, reversals, and surplus unclaimed. We would want to, of course, go through the list and take out anything that we cannot use. Just an example, the reversals and what has been paid, we can't use those. So we want to make sure that we take out any older dates. If the money has already escheated to the government, we obviously don't want to reach out to those individuals because they cannot claim those funds. So ideally, they're going to give you a raw data file, and it is your responsibility to clean it up. We are looking for surplus unclaimed. The unclaimed ones are what we're actually interested in that are within the time ramification for the clients we can reach out to assist them with recovering these funds. Now, we're going to dive into what a parcel ID is and the sale date and all of that information, but let me show you a couple more lists. So this list is massive. It actually goes back all the way to 2012. Now, in the state of Georgia, I know that there's 5 years of recovery, so I'm going to omit anything before the year of 2017. Alter it, clean the file up, and put it to my liking, and I'm going to go ahead and proceed to another list to show you. This is a list from the state of California, and they just basically gave me a PDF file. It has all the information that I need. However, you see it looks very different than the Excel file from Georgia. So please let me say this. A lot of these lists do not have names on them. Some of them have names and a lot of them do not. But the parcel ID is the largest and most important data that you need from these lists. The parcel ID is essentially a social security number for the property that was lost at auction. So being a licensed real estate agent in Georgia, I know that you have the ability to look up any tax information because that is the public's record and it is our information to see. So what we want to do is look up the sale date and the parcel ID, and we can find out who the person is that lost the property at the tax auction. And that, my friend, is a lead. All right, now, guys, we're going to dive into organization, how to request a list from a county. To how to request a list from a county. With any recovery business, when you're trying to search individuals, you need leads. In order to find those leads, you'll want to reach out to different counties and request the information of the overages or excess funds. Some of this stuff is readily available on the website where you can just go to their website. And some of it is not. And some of that you're going to request. Either way, you need these listings from these multiple websites in order to generate your leads. So I want to talk about how I have everything organized and what will potentially help you in your recovery business on how to request these listings. So we're going to just go with California for today. What you see is a Excel file of literally all of the counties in California in alphabetical order, and the population of people that is in that county. You also see a list of notes, as well as whether the download was completed or not. Now, this is just for the purposes of this video. Really, my downloads are somewhere else. And honestly, this is a new Excel file. I have everything documented for the state of California, but for the purposes of this video, I want to show you guys how or what would be the best way to have it organized. When I first started, my organization skills were nowhere near as amazing as they are now, but I have found it to be tremendously helpful to make sure that you have notes. And because if you don't have notes, you're not going to remember if you requested Imperial County 6 weeks ago. So it's very imperative that you make sure that you request, a list and document whether you've requested it, if you're waiting on a response, whatever the case is. Now, I also want to, what I'm going to do is request a couple of these lists so you can start building leads. And I'm going to show you, sometimes these lists come in PDF form, sometimes these lists come in Excel form, sometimes you'll just get an email back with from the county giving you names and some information. Whatever and however they provide you that information, it is your due diligence that you're going to compose a file in order to have everybody organized, and so you can know what your next step is. The idea of the concept is you're building leads for someone to tell you yes or no. You're building a leads listing. So let's go ahead and hop into it. We're going to focus on California today. So this is Alameda County, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, and this county has about 1,682,353 people. So I'm going to tell you that this is probably a pretty good county, and they may have someone that has been involved in a tax foreclosure or foreclosure. So let's do this. I'm just going to take the name of it. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to the internet. Let's see. And see, it came right up. So here it is. So there are different things that this is called. You can call these funds excess funds. You can call them, and that is not right. You can call these excess funds, overage funds, surplus funds. Whatever it is, it's your due diligence to search the internet to try to find what you are looking for. So, Alameda County excess funds proceeds for tax sales. This is what I just searched. Again, you can play with the different names of what you're searching. Ideally, you just want a list to come up or see what you can find out about this particular county. So I'm going to try this first. And just from experience in doing this, and I've already looked this up, I know that this is their listing right here. And you see what they have it called is 2021 Tax Default Land Auction Results. Now, let me say this. Super imperative for you to know what the counties or what the states qualifications are in regards to how long they can claim these funds. Just an example, in the state of Georgia, you have 5 years, so you can go back. Well, it's currently 2022, so I can go back all the way to 2017 to look for someone. A foreclosure could have occurred in 2017, and I still would have time to look for those individuals. Whereas in California, almost all of their counties are only 1 year for recovery. So that is super important. You don't want to find what you think are potential prospects and you find out that that none of those people can recover those funds. So super imperative to look up the state and what their qualifications are. And a lot of them will actually a lot of them will tell you. So, like, just an example. Let's see. So, the primary purpose is tax sale. Okay, the property owner. Okay, offering the property. I'm trying to see if it'll say during the 5 years of tax. So basically, they're saying they give the person 5 years to not basically to be delinquent. It's not 5 years that you have to recover the money. Let's see. It's probably going to be in their frequently asked questions, um, which again, do your research. That's all I mean. You don't want to find a list from 2017 in California and none of those people are going to be valid, because when you try to process the claim, they're going to tell you, hey, you only have a year for recovery. So let's look back at this list. This is the list. Now, this one came on a PDF file. So I'm going to download this list. And basically, let's say we're going to call this, what was the county? All right. What I do is I get several lists together before I actually put all this together. But these are potential clients. Most of your lists are going to have a parcel ID on it. That's basically the social security number of the place that was at foreclosure, at tax auction foreclosure, or if you're doing foreclosure ones. This is just basically the social security number of the social security number of the location. And I don't want to say home, because it could be a home, it could be a store, it could be a piece of land with no address whatsoever. So what you see on this list is this came from March 19th, 2021 up until May. So I know that I don't have long, but I know if some of these people, they didn't file a claim, I only got basically until March to reach out to those people. And to be honest with you, that's actually good motivation if they haven't filed a claim. So let's break this list down. Right here where it says results of auction. All right, where it says minimum bid, this is how much they owed in their taxes. This was the minimum. Remember, when these parcel IDs go up to tax auction or foreclosure, they're going to start the bid out at least at what the minimum of what was owed. So the minimum of what was owed was this $15,125. But it looks like someone bidded $163,600, meaning that there's a difference here, a significant difference. Where's my calculator? I'm pulling a calculator up really quickly so I can tell y'all what the exact amount is. So 163,600 minus 15,125. So there's about $148,000 overage here. Now, we don't know if the people have actually went and got this money or not. Now, I'm going to tell you this, and this is completely user preference, however you want to run your business. Me, I'm taking all of the leads and I'm going to put them on a PDF file. Some individuals and some people, how they run their business, they do the research on the front end to verify if there's even money out there. I don't do that. Let me tell you why I don't do that. It's because I have had it where, and not in California, but I've had it in Georgia, where there was already a case opened and, it said that it was being worked. However, the actual owner of the property was never aware that there was a case open. It was a lien holder who basically attempted to initiate a claim on. Allow me to try to explain. When there is any lien holders that have interest in the property, their lien would have had to been applied before the property auction. So this particular lien holder was a lien holder that occurred well after the auction, and they were trying to get the funds because they noticed that there was no one who opened up a claim. However, they did not qualify because they did not have a lien prior to the auction. was after a lien holder, after the auction had occurred a year or two prior. So they were trying to get those funds. Well, come to find out, if I would have just skipped it saying that there was a case open, then I would have lost a $7,000 check. Well, I reached out and I did everything as I would, looking for the property owner, and we got paid off of that. I think that claim was like 23,000 or 24,000, something of that nature. But we got like a $7,000 check from it. So the thing is that if I would have been like, oh, I see a case open, let me not add them to my list, I wouldn't have got paid. So that's the reason why I don't try to do the work in the front end. I try to reach out to the people, and then from there, I allow them to tell me, hey, I already got this going, or yes, I would like to work with you, or no, I'm not interested. That's what I do. User preference, do what you feel. So back to this list. This is basically the overage amount is again about 148,000. Now you see this says results of the auction. This says so. This says no bid, meaning that these two didn't have a bid, so there's clearly no overage. You see that there is no bid amount. So they owed 50,000, nobody bid on it. They owed 33,000, nobody bid on it. So first of all, we've already downloaded this list, but I would take these three off of the list. Now, for the purposes of the video, I'm going to continue to go. I'm not going to just try to put all these on an Excel file right now and combine them. No, I'm going to keep going so we can find more listings. So what that would look like under Alameda, I hope I'm saying that right, County, it says downloaded the PDF from site, complete download, yes. So I know that I have this one. I'm going to move on. Now, I've already looked this one up. Alpine County, they only have 1,204 population. So their population is really tiny. And I've already did the research, so I actually know that they have not had a tax sale since 2018. Now, remember, in California, almost all of these only have a year for recovery, so this is basically not valid. Completed, I just said yes because I'm done with them right now. We can check back and maybe some months to see if they've had a new tax auction, but I know that they haven't had one because I actually reached out to them and they told me they haven't had one since 2018, which makes sense. A lot of people may not have tax foreclosures with their population being so tiny. So we're going to just go here. And you will continue to go down your list. I want to make this worthwhile, so I'm going to try this one. Contra Coastal County. Let's see here. And the reason I say that is because they have 1,165,927 people. So this may be worthwhile. So we're going to do this. And don't skip around. Or work however you think. This is your business. This is your recovery business. Work how you think it's how you need to work, okay? I'm going to go for the big people. So we're going to go right here for just right now. And remember, document, not to waste your time or forget something or whatever the case is. So Contra Coastal County, let's say excess proceeds. And see, look, I mean, it's already popping up for me. Excess proceeds policy. And again, you have to do a little bit of research. You may not find it right away. So let's see what this is about. Excess proceeds, claim policy, excess proceeds, claims form. So here's their policies. So this is where you would do, a little bit of research. Here's the rules, regulations of it. I expect you, with this being your business, to make sure that you're reading and educating yourself on, policies and procedures, or what they're saying, you can and what you can't do in regards to the claim. What you don't want to do is waste your time finding a person, getting everything together, and then come to find out you're not even able to apply for the funds. You don't want to do that. So excess proceeds assignment, so they can actually do an assignment, excess proceeds probate affidavit. So this basically is probably where the person who owned the property at some point died, and there's overages. Well, a person who is kin to them could claim those overages. So this is probably a probate affidavit there. And again, I always tell you guys, I am not a licensed attorney. I am licensed in real estate, but I am licensed in real estate in Georgia. So these things you need to look up yourself. I am here to basically show you how to request lists, but I am not here to give you legal advice. So by all means, make sure that you do your due diligence, people. It's imperative. Do your due diligence, your own personal due diligence. Let's see what this is. See, this is not for property auctions or foreclosures. This looks like this is list of absent heirs of claimants. This is just some other unclaimed funds. Now, whatever type of funds you want to find and hawk these people down, that's you. I mean, who's to say this is not a nice one to look for, right? I mean, I'm just not in the date deposited. I'm not in the business of really anything for the purposes of these trainings, other than tax lien and foreclosure overages. But I mean, you see that there's all kinds of unclaimed money out here. All kinds of unclaimed money, people. But this is not what we're looking for. So I'm going to proceed. Let's see. See, maybe this is it. And this is 2020. So is this going to help me? Yeah, this is February 2020. And you see, let's see, these are the excess proceeds. But let's look at how long you have, because if they're a year, well, February 25th of 2021 would have been where there's no point. And a lot of times, if you don't see newer lists, it's because they haven't had a tax auction. But let's see here. And it says up to 5 years of public auction results are available online. But I don't see and it says view most recent. And when we click view most recent, that's what comes up. So to me, that may have been there may have been their most recent auction. Yeah, and that's 2017. And all right, now what you could do, because some of these lists are up for the public, and some of them they have hidden. And when I say hidden, you basically have to do a records request from the county to request the list. So what we could do in this scenario, let's see here. If they have a contact us, we could ask. Okay. So up to 5 years of public auction results. I'm gonna tell y'all they don't have one. But let's see if we can dig a little bit deeper. Master, did you guys see that? Right there. Public information. So I could reach out here and send them an email. What's going on with this? Oh, send them an email, but I'm not going to do that because I'm confident that they just haven't had an auction. But what that will look like on the purposes of the actual my Excel file is here. It would say sent email for list. Completed download? No. So then when you're following up on what you have and what you don't have, you'll see what you've requested, what you haven't requested. You get the point. I want to find another list for you guys. And I'm going to take this out because that's not what really happened. But I do want to find another list for you guys. So once I have multiple lists, then I'm going to put all of those lists together and start building leads. I'm going to start building leads. Let's just try this one. Let's see. And this, I'm just trying something different. I just put Amador, if that's how you pronounce this, or Amador County excess proceeds list for tax sales. And here you are here, 2021 authorization and report of sales. Let's see. And there you have it. Now, this list looks a little funny, but it's your due diligence and your job for you. You're going to comb through it. So let's get into it. Let's see what this says. So at the top, it says authorization and report of sales. So under direction of the Board of Supervisors of Amador County, California, by resolution, dated October 13, 2020, the properties listed below was offered for sale at public auction March 15 through 17, 2021. Okay, so March 15th through March 17th, 2021. So we really don't have that much time with these either. But again, that could be motivation for you. When I say we don't have much time, when you're reaching out to these individuals, you will say, hey, and we only have about a month before these claims exalt to the actual state. So it's super imperative for us to go ahead and get your claim started today. That is great motivation for them to work with you. So when you look at this list, you see it has the parcel ID, which is like the social security number of the actual home or business or whatever it was that was up for tax auction. I don't like to say home because it's not necessarily a home. Again, it could be land, an actual commercial building. It could be a home. It could be anything that is considered real estate property. So that's the parcel ID. You see it looks like basically what we want to see is the excess proceeds. This is what was in excess. This is what was in excess. This was what was in excess. This is what was in excess. Now, again, there are different ways that you can do this. Me personally, I'm pulling all of these and I'm putting anybody who have excess proceeds, I'm reaching out to them. However, there are some companies that do the work on the front end, and I told you you can lose money that way. But if they see a claim already opened on these, and there are ways to find it, that is a whole nother subject for a whole nother day, because that can be very tedious trying to find if they have a claim open. You'll have to have a user profile with every different county in order to do it. So that can be a lot. I personally just pull what was out there and reach out to these individuals. I do. Once this expires, I'll take all of these people out of my database and start the new ones. And when I say expired, once these have exhausted where they can't file a claim, I will take them out of my database and start new ones. Here you have it. This is out there. And yeah, so your due diligence. So you would save this. We're going to say just excess list so we can know what we got. And on my PDF file, I would basically, what county was that? See what I mean? Y'all see what I mean? Yeah, okay, it was this one. All right, we're going to say downloaded list from PDF. Completed download, yes, and you will move on until you get as many leads as you possibly needed. Got them together, put them all on one Excel file, and start ripping through it. Start finding and looking for those individuals, which that will come on a different video on how to skip trace them. But that is what you will do, people. And all right, so I do want to show you something else. I want to kind of start or show you kind of from scratch how I was able to get the counties, the population, and things of that nature. So once you determine the various states you would like to work in, then of course you would add it to your Excel file. So in this particular example, I'm just going to show you how I added Georgia to my Excel file for an additional state that I wanted to work. Then obviously, again, you want to have all of your states organized. For the purposes of the video, I'm going to create Georgia's tab and show you how I did that. Again, the reason why I have every county is so you can know what the population is, whether you've requested the list, and you have documented notes, okay? So I'm going to show you how you can find any county's information. Now, I will also try my hardest to send you a link with what counties actually currently have excess funds and what in which don't, and I'm sorry, states, what state has excess funds and which ones to kind of stay away from. I will definitely put that in your support area of your course, so that is something that you can look into. But again, it is what you decide and what is most comfortable for you. Again, the reason why I personally use California, Illinois, Texas, and Georgia is because I have attorneys and that I know in California. I lived in Illinois, so I'm very familiar with Illinois. Texas, I have attorneys in Texas as well as I'm familiar with Texas. And I selected Georgia because I live in Georgia. So any state that I have eyes in or feel that it would be pretty easy to pursue the funds, and not really easy because it's work in any of them. But what I'm saying is that because I'm pretty comfortable in those states, I basically use those states. But you may have a very different case scenario. You may want to pursue funds in Florida, and that is okay. I'm just giving you, what I do, how I'll get it organized in order to assist you as much as I can. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to the internet because I'm about to add Georgia for you guys. So I'm going to create a new tab. And in that new tab, I'm going to rename it Georgia. Okay. 1 second here. All right. So let's see here. Now we're going to go to the web. Now what I did was I basically just went to Google and I searched counties in Georgia. The first and most relevant thing came up was Wikipedia. And I'm going to select Wikipedia. And if you go down, there is an option that actually says, let's see here. Here's all the counties here. But I want to show you, you can do this for any state. Here is, and Georgia got a lot of counties, guys. There is a list of county seats in Georgia, a list of courthouses in Georgia. So it has all this good information. But what I'm really looking for is list of counties of the United States by state. So this is perfect for you. It has basically all of the states and their counties. So I'm going to select Georgia because that's what I'm focused on and looking for.
And then here, with every county, the population is needed. I'm going to use this information, but of course I'm going to clean it up to my liking, right? So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to select all of the counties in Georgia. And careful, you don't want all of this because we don't care about that. I'm going to stop here. And I'm going to do Control Copy. Now I'm going to go back to my Excel file. And I'm already in Georgia. And I'm going to Control Paste. Oh, sorry about that. Control Paste. Control P. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. Control V. It's telling me, it's asking me, what am I doing? Control V. It's early, guys. So now all that information is here and readily available for me, right? So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove the hyperlinks, number one. And then I'm going to clean and alter this. I'm not really concerned and don't care about this information. So I'm going to delete these columns out. I'm going to open my Excel file up a bit. And I'm going to take this out. Now I have every county in Georgia and the population. Now I'm going to also use this, and I'm sorry, I don't want to accidentally pause the video. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this column. Oh, you know what? Let me first insert a column. So, because of course I need tabs or letterheads so we can know. Obviously, we want to remember, hey, this is Georgia, right? And of course, we're under the column Georgia, but I also needed to have the county, the population. So copy, and now we're going to paste it. All right, so there we got it. And I like to have this bold. So basically, there you have it. You have the county, your notes, your completed download. That's one tab. Completed download, yes or no. So now I could go and same case scenario as I was doing in California. Now I can go in and I can request this these excess funds from out of this county in Georgia. I see the populations. I know which ones I want to hit, what not to hit, and that is very helpful. It's very organized, and it will truly really help you. That way, if you decide to hire virtual assistants, you could give one of your virtual assistants the they're working only your California requests, only your California claims. They basically go down this list. They would document. You'd see what they did, what they did not do, and vice versa, so forth and so on. So let's talk about some other things that hopefully that was helpful. I have a couple of things I do want to show you. I want to pull an email up really quickly to show you what it looks like when we request. Actually, let me go to Fulton because I'm going to show you some records requests are formal requests, and then there are some that basically you can just send an email inquiry. So I'm going to go to Fulton County. Now, I'll say this, and this is just my personal opinion. The counties that don't have the records readily available on a website where you can just pull it, those are the ones I like to hit up first. And the reason being is because everybody's not going to do a record request. A lot of people like the low-hanging fruit. So they're going to go to all the websites where you don't have to do anything but just get the list off, which is cool. I'm not going to say that that's not good, because I have some claims. One in particular that is in DeKalb County, and I got that list just readily available off the website. But what I'm trying to say is that obviously if you have to do a little bit more work, there's probably a good reason behind it. So in order to do an open records request, so this is Fulton County's website, and you see this is www.fultoncountyga.gov. So that it's not on their tax assessor's website. I'm going to do an open records request. This is how I got the Excel file from Fulton. Now, let me also say this. Fulton County, and remember, some of these are exhausted at this point, um, because they just give you a raw data file. They don't really necessarily care how they give it to you. They're just going to give you a raw data file, okay? But I say that to say, within this raw data file that I requested, and again, I'm sorry, I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you how I requested it. But in this raw data file, the claims start all the way from 2005. Clearly, I don't want these. I can't use those. You can see that they've documented some of these have been paid. All of that. I can't use any of that. All of that information is irrelevant and invalid. It's too old for me. So even if I were to, because remember, we're going to clean the list up and doctor it to our liking. But I just want to give you an idea, just a summary, a small synopsis of how much money that is within excess fund recovery. I want to show this to you. It just intrigues me so very much. Trying to get to the bottom. Let's see. So guys, check this out. And yeah, that's gonna go all the way. Oh, it's not even all the way up. I was trying to see. Did I get everybody in there? And no, it's not even all of them, guys. Like, wow, that only goes back to 2020. So let's just go up some more. Let's go up to 2017 because that's basically how far back in Georgia you can go. Let's just say so we're looking at like 11 something million dollars in the last 5 years. So there is money to be made. I really truly mean that. Now some of these obviously they're too young. When All right, so let me try to explain this to you.
Okay, explaining this to the best of my knowledge, you have tax lien states and you have tax deed states. In tax lien states, there is a right to redemption time period. So, just an example, for the state of Georgia, it is a tax lien state. So, when that overage is populated, the client or the customer who lost the property in the auction actually has a 1 year redemption time period that they can come up with the funds. So, personally, I do not touch anything that is still within that redemption time period. That is what I mean when I said that some of these claims are too young. In a tax deed state, there is no right to redemption. So with that being said, you can immediately assist the client with the overage in the claim because they don't have a right to redemption time period. What I would encourage you to do is look up the laws and rules and regulations for the state that you're trying to pursue overages in. Verify if it is a tax deed state or a tax lien state. That way you will know if there is a right to redemption time period. If they have the right to redemption time period, which would be ideally in most tax lien states, you know not to touch claims if they're not a certain amount of months or a year old. But verify also what is the right to redemption time period. If it's a tax deed state, then ideally you're free to go with pursuing the overage immediately. Definitely don't want to make this sound difficult because it's actually not. Just an example, the state of Georgia is a tax lien state. There's a 1 year right to redemption time period. Today is January the 6th, 2022. That just means that I would not touch any claims that were created anywhere from January 6, 2021, all the way up until today. Anything before that, I am able to pursue up into 5 years, because again, the state of Georgia will allow you to recover funds for 5 years. So I have all the way back to January 2017 to pursue. So I have a good amount of time and plenty of claims in order to attempt to pursue. So I don't want it to sound difficult, because again, it's not a difficult process.
Think, oh, well, the county may pay, the county may not. So I actually make sure that my claims are aged at a significant amount of time, at least a year. Now, I've communicated with some clients that are less than a year, but it's because they're basically about to hit their year mark. So I do want to just say that, share that with you. Now, for the counties that are tax deed states, those you can go in instantly to try to recover any excess funds. And the reason being is because there is no right to redemption period for the properties. And I don't want to say anything incorrectly. Again, I am not an attorney. You want to look that up, but that is pretty legit information that I'm providing for you. And I'll try to share a link for more detail on tax deed and tax lien states. But let's go ahead and go back to where we were with this open records request. So this is the open records request. I'm going to click here. Now, I've done this countless amount of times, countless, honestly. So I actually have a profile set up with Fulton County and everything. But in order to submit an open records request, they want you to set up a profile. It took me maybe about 3 minutes, so it wasn't like it was a long, tedious process or anything of that nature. So do not, by any means, do not get discouraged with the small barriers that they have in front of you in order to not pay you. If you can get a $10,000 check from you just opening a little profile and submit a records request, it is so worth it. So I want you to know, don't ever be discouraged with these small little barriers. They do this intentionally for us not to get what we want, but we're going to get what we want. So we're going to open the open records request. So you click on submit a records request. One second. Let's see. I'm trying to get into my account. All right. So I'm in. Okay. So I just wanted to show you guys. So it's under my request center. And basically it says public records. It says public records request details. Select the department that you're requesting. Most of the time it's going to be, when I first did this, I clicked on the tax assessor's office. However, in Fulton, it's the actual sheriff office that has the information. The beauty in it is that if you were to select tax assessor's office and you were to go to, they give you some different little pre-formatted things. If you didn't see what you wanted and you clicked I'm not sure, there's a box that asks to tell you to ask what you want. Now, what I do is I always say something to the nature of good afternoon. I am looking for an excess funds listing. And I'm not going to do it because let me see if I can find one. But you would say something to the nature of, I'm looking for excess funds listings for any properties that have been subject to foreclosure or tax auctions. Please submit that information over to me if you whatever you have, right? And if you submitted it to the tax assessor, you would get an email back, and they would basically tell you that it's the wrong department, and we forwarded it over to the appropriate department. You don't want to do that, obviously, because you don't want to waste your time and wait. So I'm telling you, in Georgia, for Fulton County specifically, I've submitted it for tax assessors, and it went to the actual sheriff. So now I know when I'm requesting anything in regards to open records requests for tax auctions, I reach out to the sheriff's department. But this is what one of my records requests look like. And this is public information, guys. Again, when it is public information, they have to give this information to you. It is a right of the public to have access to this. Now, they may make you pay for it. I did not have to pay for, and there are some scenarios that they do make you pay. You may have to pay for it. However, it is still public record, and they cannot withhold this information from us. Okay. So you see, this is one of them right here. This was 2 months ago. It just says, let's see if it'll give me my full request. So it's an open records request. It went to the sheriff. I selected I'm not sure because it didn't have my specific need. And then I said looking for an updated excess funds or overage tax lien Excel file. That's all I said. And literally they sent it to me. My first request, this is because I just wanted an updated one. My first request was much more detailed, stating, "Good afternoon. I'm looking for an Excel file or any PDF or any information that you have in regards to tax lien properties. I'm looking for the overages that occur after the tax auction." And they still sent me the right thing. So it's not very hard. You may have to open an open records request, but you see that with Fulton, it's very detailed. So it's very, very worth it to me to open the open records request. Now, again, you can go to the ones that are readily available on the website. And I'll also show you what an email looks like. I'll send an email. I'll show you what an email looks like as well when you're just requesting it via email. That would be like another website that says contact us or what you're requesting. If you do not see it readily available on the website, you can shoot them an email. How I know that I had to create a profile with this one is because I shot them an email and they said you need to open up an open records request. So I'm just trying to avoid you doing things that, to avoid to not waste your time. Now, there are some counties you don't have to have a profile for open records request. They basically just send it to you via email when you request it via email. So it just really depends on where you're trying to pursue your tax overages and your foreclosure overages for.
And I did want to just show you an email of what it looks like just requesting it via email. Very standard, but this is just an email example of requesting it. All right, guys, so we have made it to the end of lead and lead generation. And I do want to leave you with a couple housekeeping tips. So dudes, be specific in your requests. Okay, make sure you send an example of a list if needed. If they're like, hey, I'm not exactly sure what list you're speaking in reference to, send them an example from a different county. Be courteous and friendly. Remember the proverb, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Don'ts. Do not be rude. It pays no one for you to be rude. And most importantly, they won't help you when you're rude. Never send nasty emails. They last for forever. So never send a nasty email. And definitely don't threaten them. Just make sure that you're courteous and professional in everything that you're doing. At the end of the day, this is your business and you want people to respect you. Really, really hope that you guys found this chapter informational and enjoyed it. And as always, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to reach out to me. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye for now.